Welcome to another episode of embroidery stitching. We will walk you through the steps on completing your embroidery kit. I have the templates here listed down below that you could use to cut your own embroidery pieces on wood or acrylic. And then we'll be utilizing all of the embroidery stitches onto these kits. I love that these templates are standard and that you could use these over and over again by printing new ones, and you'll have the same exact outcome each and every time because the holes don't move and the material doesn't stretch. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and begin. We are doing this little heart piece today and I'm so excited to share this one. So let's go ahead and begin this now. We have two different heart templates here. One is a 6-inch as well as a 9-inch. I'll make sure to link both of them down below. For this tutorial, we'll go over the 6-inch. I'll also list all of the embroidery colors that I'm using. Feel free to use your favorite ones as well. This is the 986 and we'll start off by tying a little knot at the end of your embroidery string. I'm using all 6 threads here. And for the back stitch, we will start off by going into the first hole, down the second hole, up the third hole, back down the second hole. So basically you're going up one, back one, up two, back one. And it's also your choice whether or not you want to do the middle stem first and then focus on the branches, or do each branch then the stem one at a time. I also wanted to share a different method of utilizing the stems. Let's also number all of these stems 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to go up 1, down 3, back up 2, and then into 4. We'll also need to make sure that part of the string is still there. That way you're pulling and tugging down on the string. That way it gives that little arrow or the curvature of the leaf. That kind of avoids going through the second hole multiple times, and it's going to provide a really unique look. When I'm embroidering these types of designs, I like to use one color and do everything on that embroidery board with that color before I move on to the next. So continue completing all of the green foliage and then we'll start on our roses. Now that we're done with all of the green, let's hop onto the whites and we're going to complete all of the daisies. I'm making all of the petals, doing the same exact back stitch for all of these. Let's now start on our woven wheel. I have two different samples here, one with the internal French knot and one with the other. Let's start off with the one with the French knot. Utilize the back stitch to create the lines. Follow the little tracing outline that I have on here. It'll make it a lot easier. Once we have that completed, we'll start the woven wheel. And in order to do the woven wheel, you're going to need to go under and over each and every one of those strands. And as you continue going under, over each and every strand, you'll then begin to see the woven pattern. The beginning could also be a little tricky, especially because you want to keep it pretty tight, but also not too tight so that it has some space for the French knots in the middle. Continue this pattern all the way until you get to the outer rim, and you can no longer go in your under over pattern anymore. When you come to the outer rim, you are completed and we can tie a knot at the back. I'm going to continue using the same exact color, and we are going to focus on creating some French knots. To create a French knot, you're going to wrap the string around your needle 3 times before it goes back into the same exact hole, and that's going to create a knot for you. And when you're wrapping it around that needle, make sure it's going towards the tip of the needle. I also do 3 wraps, but you could continue and do 4 wraps or 5, depending on how thick you want your little knots to be. If you're up for the challenge, you could also mix in some colonial knots. It will ultimately look similar, but it does have a more tighter and different vibe. We're changing our thread color over to this golden yellow, and we're going to continue with our French knots and create the little knots inside our rose. Don't forget to add them also to your daisies. They are going to make it pop and really give it some character and personality. Let's now move into our next woven wheel. I'm going to use a more deeper tone of pink here. That way it's kind of similar but also has its own personality. If you're using the woven wheel and you start from one of the outer points going into the inner points, when it comes to the last one, you're actually going to need to do a little knot or a twist under the back side of your string. That way you could come back through the middle hole and begin your weaving going under and over each of those 5 little string petals. Now, with each and every one that's created, it's going to get a little bit more challenging, mainly because there's a lot of string on top of your design. So just take your time with it and get to a place where it looks really nice. Also, you want to make sure to fluff it along the way. That way it looks more 3D and more like a rose. And with that last one, now you have it. You have completed your very own embroidery heart. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and just sitting back with me and completing this design together. If you're up for the challenge and want to do the bigger design, I have this 9-inch one also. I'll have both links down below. If you like these types of tutorials and want to see more, make sure to click subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.